Hello! Welcome to our monthly review of December. Retro December. Let's go back in time, time travelers. Let's get started. Ah, nostalgia. Don't you just love the ability to go back in time and witness something great all over again? Or even something new you never thought you'd ever have a chance to witness? The month of time travel is not only do we go back in time, but at the end of the month we go forward to the new year. Without further ado, let's get on to our Retro December monthly review. The sweet salty taste of the ocean sea. Never was a fan, but I am a fan of our yellow porous friend, SpongeBob SquarePants. I played this game a good while ago on the GameCube. It was one of my favorite experiences to replay over and over again. When I heard THQ was revitalizing this game, I was ecstatic to get another chance to play it, let alone on Steam. When I booted up the game and started hearing that soundtrack again, I was full of old memories. So what did I think? It was good. Not amazing, but still good enough to be happy that I played it again. Honestly though, there seemed to be more bugs compared to the original, but the art was good and kept close to the previous game while still being an upgrade. Though I think they did forget that the water in SpongeBob was goo, not crystal clear water. There was also some issues with switches reacting to your character's attacks. It could slow the pacing down at times, which is a huge issue for speedrunners, but it seems most speedrunners skip the entire game most of the time anyway, so I guess that isn't all too bad. Glitches. Nevertheless, this collection platformer is definitely worth giving a shot if you haven't. I give this game a 6. I spent 8 hours on it, and well, there wasn't much to give in several categories like the writing, agency, and innovation, but it nevertheless is still a recommended game. Now, I have memory of this game, but I never finished it. It was too hard for a dumb kid like me, you know? But now I can finally come back and finish this gem of a game. Destroy All Humans isn't something that fits nowadays. It was definitely a game of its time. But since we are time travelers during this time of the month, we not only get to go to the late 50s, but we get to see how writing used to be as well. You get a clear warning right off the bat that this game is not a reflection of the remakers, so that they don't get any flack. But you have to understand that they were definitely trying to make us feel the way it was during the late 50s. Except that there seems to be less racism, so 0 out of 10 on that, because we all know the real story here. Terrible jokes aside, this is definitely a great game to play. But I would say one off, and that's it. The new art and design of everything is phenomenal, though. Though the original's art style, which was trying to go for a more realistic look of like the 1950s communist propaganda art style, it was more appropriate, I feel, personally, but the silly characters also work that they have on the new design. I didn't have too much issue with that. I know a lot of people had it, like, brought it up as an issue, but I think it fits very well still. The sound was copied also over from the original, so I won't give it any merit in that department. In the entirety of the campaign, you get around 6 hours of game time, but it was definitely a fun experience. There was other stuff to do, but it wasn't engaging enough to make me want to do extra stuff. But I gave this game a 6.75. Definitely a good game, but it's an old experience that won't keep you engaged for too long. But God, I love skating around. Here I am, doing everything I can. Another remake of a fantastic series, and I just can't get enough of the nostalgia trip. Let's start off by saying that they blew it out of the park with how much better they made this than the original. I mean, we're not Warcraft 3 Reforged over here, right? Not only did they combine two games together, but they took mechanics from other Pro Skater games, the best stuff, and added it to this game. They added a plethora of amazing songs along with beautiful originals, and even allow you, sorry, when I say originals, I don't mean like their own music, just original songs from the original games, like the one I just sang in the very beginning, Superman. But they even allow you to make your own character and park again. So that's cool that they brought that system back. But I do have two gripes. The character creation system is a little half-baked. I felt like there wasn't a lot of options, and I couldn't really make a character that felt like me. I had to just choose some default stuff that they had. And the fact that they don't have any Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 stuff, or at least like the whole game, that would have been cool. That was my favorite one, but that's just like a personal bias. But anyways, bias aside, this game got an 8.25 with its pretty non-existent writing and weird menu design. I couldn't give it too high of a score, but nevertheless it's still a fantastic remake and then some. I only got 10 hours into this game and I didn't finish it, but as someone who has plenty of games to play, I couldn't stay and enjoy this game. It's still something that will definitely give you plenty of stuff to do. You know, I've been hearing a lot of great things about Sonic Adventure 2 from both friends and the internet. It's provided many memes and many great memories, but it was hard for me to find the words to describe my experience with this game. This game has charm, but is definitely a mess. I first want to say thank you to No Roof Access for picking this game, and as frustrating as it could be sometimes, I still enjoyed playing through this. Also, I forgot to thank Richard Rios for recommending last month's game, No Straight Roads, and Mariko Junrave, who recommended Ghost Runner. They are big supporters of this channel and help me keep this channel going. You can also help keep my channel going by supporting me on Patreon. Just $1 is enough to get you access to some extra content I'll be providing, such as picking games played on the channel, getting shoutouts, and even a beautiful art piece made by me. I can't promise it will look good, but I'm hoping to keep providing reviews and other videos for your viewing and listening pleasure. And in the future, I'll be hopefully providing even more stuff for our Patreons. But anyways, back to the review. If I could give a good analogy to describe this game, it would be a helicopter parent who has good intentions, but in all reality is hurting the development of their child. In this case, it's developers hurting the experience of the player. The awkward and sometimes deplorable dialogue can be forgiven, but when your actual game starts getting frustrating is when we got a problem. The camera hijacking at some bad times, and the character snapping to certain enemies and rails, but at times struggling to pick a specific target when too many targets were near each other, drove me nuts. It seems like they had a lot of ideas, and try to work every single one of those ideas into a game without cutting things out, and this is what we got. I mean, you got racing, you got a story mode, you got several different characters playing in different ways, which is fine, that works. But then you also, okay, look, everything feels like a half concept, but from what I hear, the real part of the game is raising a chow. And well, I didn't do that, so I guess I missed the core gameplay loop. Anyways, this game gets a 5.5. It was okay, but definitely has many flaws.
I'll make you eat those words!
I'm very disappointed. This was a favorite of my childhood, and I was excited to replay this game. But boy, I definitely remember it differently. I played this quite early in my childhood, around the release of PS2, and this game just doesn't hold up much anymore. Now, I've never played this on PC before, and I think it's definitely more unstable than the console one from what I remember. Memory is fickle. What I can tell you for sure is that I had a lot of issues playing this game. Now, my experience wasn't horrendous, but if you can grab an emulation of this game, I'd recommend it. Of course, buy this game first and then do it so you can show the developers some love. I gave this game a 5.25 with an 8-hour playthrough. The uninspired music and story really brought this review down, along with the art that didn't quite hold up. The level design wasn't the best at some points, and the combat was lackluster. I think the best thing I loved about this game was something I didn't even remember as a kid. I'll be honest, I probably didn't know how to do it back then. The Rune powers. Those are definitely awesome to use, and well, the game is called Rune, so it definitely stood out the most for me.
No longer. Are you so driven to aid your fellow humans that you would abandon your own humanity?
Well, there it is. Retro December in a nutshell. It's been a wild year, but we are finally in the new one, and well, it's still wild, but hopefully it turns into a good wild. I still have a couple of the end of the year videos to get out, but I hope you enjoyed this monthly review. If you haven't checked out my Twitch, be sure to go on to give some love or stay on YouTube. Either is fine. Also, if you have a Steam, check out my group page, Existential Gamers, and follow my curator page where I provide recommendations of games I played and you can buy them straight from the store after reading a review. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys have a great new year, and I hope all of you stay safe out there. And remember, like, comment, and subscribe if you like this. And if you didn't like it, well, you can also unlike and dislike it as well. I'm fine with that. It lets me know that I need to get better. Anyways, guys, take care, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next stream. Alright, bye.